Good evening, everybody. Sean and Michelle Poe here, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We have our first edition of the weekly Sunday night training occurring tonight. We're super excited as we make this transition from a call that Michelle and I have been doing over the past 5 years, every single night pretty much, or every Sunday night for the past 5 years, as we transition this over to a wider organization wide from Stu Brody down training webinar. So we're super excited about the format, super excited about all of the elite presenters that you're going to get to hear from over the course of time. This is something that we put a lot of time and energy and thought into to deliver to you guys on a weekly basis the basics of the business. What is going to help you be truly successful in LifeVantage, how you can take your business to the next level. Really getting back to duplication, following the blueprint and all of that. So tonight, I'm going to not take any more time. I want to turn it over to our guest, Pro 9 Maria Williams out of Phoenix, Arizona. So excited to have her kick this off because she is truly one of the biggest leaders in all of LifeVantage. Being a Pro 9 doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of skill and dedication and work and hard work at that. Maria is not only a huge mentor of Michelle and I's, but she is also just an amazing friend, a wonderful woman in general. Last night we got to see some wonderful pictures of her volunteering her time. And you know, that just, it truly showed who she is. She's an amazing wife. Noel is a great guy. We've gotten to know him a little bit over the last couple of years, and two amazing young men that she's helped raise that are doing amazing things now that they're a little bit older and heading off into college, and just a phenomenal family. Like if you just took the picture of the ideal husband and wife and two kids, they bless the world, and we're very fortunate to call her a friend and a mentor. And I will leave it at that. I'll turn it over to you, Maria. Excited to hear what you are going to teach us tonight.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am, thank you for the kind words. So blessed to be able to be on this call with you and just share some of the knowledge over the almost 7 years in this business with LifeVantage. So we're going to talk about, each week will be a different part of the blueprint, and we're just going to keep repeating and adding little different things in there every other week as we, keep building this and building this, because it is the building blocks. We've gotten so big and so much information that I think people kind of go scattered everywhere. And we're like, look, let's come back to the basics where we all started, because this is the foundation of how to build this business. It's what we've done. I can't teach you anything that I have not done myself. I can only teach you what I've done and what's worked for me, okay? Or whatever I try and experiment, then I will teach you those things. But for when you get started in this business, and this is where we are today. So today's first lesson is on how to get started. So when you see the video and you get excited and you enroll and you sign up, and then you get your Vantage Pack or your Platinum Pack, oh my God, the name's changed, Platinum Pack, and you've got all this information. The first thing you have to do is figure out, where do you want to go with this? Where do you want to go with this business? Because you got involved for a reason. So this is the time to sit down and to start jotting down, writing down the reasons why you want this. What do you want out of this? And I stress that it is very important to write it down. I wrote mine down originally in my blueprint, and I have my blueprint here with me. Well, a lot of Post-its and stuff I don't want to forget to talk about. There's a section on page 6 to write a couple of the goals that you have. And then if you turn the page, there's sheets and sheets. Your reasons for getting started in this business, we call them your whys. They're going to change, they're going to grow, they're going to get deeper and deeper, because you're going to realize all the amazing things that you can do as this business grows, as your business grows, and you have more success. You're going to realize all the incredible stuff that you can do with your life. and your dreams and everything was going to start getting bigger and bigger. So I want to start with some basics though, okay? And so I wrote down on my Post-it here, 1 through 10, okay? So when you get started, you need to somehow on one of these pages, you need to write Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 now, right? And because you wanna plot out when do you want to get to these dates? When do you want to get to these pro levels? And you have to be specific. I believe in SMART goals.
Ready, set. Oh, I did it! Get him! Are you even going on right?
You unmute. You're muted, Maria.
Hey, Maria, we can't hear you right now.
I think I muted myself.
Okay, unmute again because I just muted everybody else. We jumped over to somebody else.
Okay.
There we're good.
Good? Can you hear me?
We're good.
All right. I'll go back to where I think this happened around Pro 1. So you need to write down Pro 1. And if you started today, I believe, Jackie, you're sharing your screen. You gotta stop that. You gotta go back and unclick that button, Jackie. You're messing us up here. Don't touch your computer, people. Jackie, go to the bottom and click on unshare your screen. Okay, I'll try to go on with this, but this is what happens when you're live, and it's okay. So if you started today, you can get to Pro 1 by the end of the month. So my suggestion would be Pro 1, and you would put February 28th. Pro 2 by next month, March 31st, put a specific date. Pro 3 by the next month, April 30th of 2017. Pro 4, you might need 2 or 3 months, so you can space it out a little bit more. Pro 5, the same thing, you know, and think of where do you want to get to Pro 7. I know we tell people this can be a 3 to 5 year business plan, right? It doesn't happen overnight. So the rest of the ranks, you can start to stretch them out. I remember a key mentor of mine when I started in this business, he had said by every convention or by every conference that we have, that you should rank by the next conference. And then set that as your goal. By the next conference that we have, you're going to rank to the next level. Of course, in between this, the only way to get there is to take action and to invite and share and take action, take action, take action. And I'm going to tell you 15 as a minimum. That is a minimum. You need more than that. 1 or 2 exposures a day is what you need to get moving in these ranks. And continually, until you get to where you're at, you have to keep exposing. I'm at a Pro 9 and I want to get to Pro 10. And I have to keep exposing. Today I just got a facial done and a new person that I went to. And what did I do? I got her contact. I'm going to expose her to the information. I had a little sample of True Science. So while she was doing my face, I was telling her all about Earth to Activation and True Science. So she's going to get information. And I left her the little sample as part of my tip. And I said, you gotta try this. You know, she's got her fancy smancy stuff for when you come in and you get, you know, exfoliated and all that good stuff. But she needs daily stuff that you use every day, right? And what better than Nerf 2 Activator in True Science? So I'm always exposing as I meet people along the way, and it's just wherever I go, I'm exposing. So part of your goals, 1 through 10, and put some specific dates there. And you may have to move the dates. I will tell you honestly, every year since I've hit Pro 9, I begin the new year, and my goal is to hit Pro 10 by the end of that year. And I'm getting closer and closer. I'm not there yet, but it's okay. This year I moved it from 2016 to 2017. But I know that it only takes one new person in your business to change it all. Okay, that's all it does. It takes one new person. I heard Arlene Miller get on the call, And Arlene decided that she wanted to get moving. She's from Ohio, and she's Amish, and they don't have the technology that we have, but you know what? She can have a phone, and she's on the phone listening tonight. And she decided that she was going to go into a brand new community in Canada. She had someone she knew there, and she just went cold turkey, right? She just went to Canada, called a friend, I'm going to come visit you, visited that friend, exposed her, shared the information. And by the end of her visit, she's like, let's get some people. And they just started exposing it to people. And now they're quickly growing super, super fast because of one person, one exposure that led to another, So I'm getting off on a tangent here, and I'm looking at my time because I'm tracking it here. So then you want to start writing some personal reasons, what you want out of this business, some personal whys. And I will tell you that you need to connect emotionally. Whatever your why is, if you say, well, I want to have financial freedom, okay, but then you've got to ask yourself, why do you want that financial freedom? And answer that question. And why do you want that? And why do you want that? When you touch your heart and you get emotional and you can feel your eyes well up with tears, then you know you've hit the jackpot. And the reason why you want to be connected emotionally to the reason why you want to have success in this business is because it's a tough business. It doesn't happen overnight. And you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of people who you think would be fantastic and say no to you. And you may not grow as fast as you want to grow. You feel frustrated at times and you want to quit. And the only way not to quit is if your why is tied to your heart. And my why has always been my kids and my family. And I've involved them in it. They knew the journey that I was on. So I could not, me as a mother, I could not quit and stop this until I got to where I wanted to get to because of my children, because I connected it to my children that if I quit, I was giving up on my children. And when I started, my boys were 9 and 11. And my dream was for these kids to go to whatever college they wanted to go to, that I could be able to afford whatever college, because I felt, every mom, I felt that I had some smart kids on my hands. and so I just dreamed that I didn't go away to college. I started off in community college. It took me 10 years to get my degree. And I missed, well, not that I missed, but I wish I had that experience of going away to college. And I wanted to give that to my kids because I think it's a beautiful experience. The friends you make, I just think it's a beautiful experience. And I wanted to give that to my kids. So I knew I couldn't give up on this because I would not be able to afford this dream that I wanted for my children. And like most of you know, my son is going to go to Stanford and we're going to pay for it. And it's because of this business that has allowed us to be able to afford it. He's a very smart kid, but Stanford is all needs-based and we don't qualify for needs-based. So I am blessed because of this business, but many times I wanted to quit. You can ask Carrie Williams. She'll tell you how many times she had to pull me off the wall because I wanted to quit. But I knew that because I wanted this so badly for my children and what I wanted to give them, and it was because I didn't have that opportunity, I wanted to give it to them, that I could not give up on them. Because if I gave up on my dreams, I was giving up on my family. So I hope you get the picture of how important it is to really be tied emotionally to why you want this. Because when you are, and you have to plaster it all over, right? So when you look at it, you say, when you want to quit, go really take a look in the mirror. And I used to have, in my mirror, Pro 9 and, some, things there that would remind me of why I wanted this. Whenever I had that feeling that I wanted to quit, and I would look at that and I'm like, no, I'm not going to give up on my dream for my children or my family. I'm not going to give up on that because we have a medical breakthrough on our hands. We have a huge opportunity. Nobody knows about this. Like I talked to someone today, right? Very, very knowledgeable in the skincare field. She didn't know about NRF2 activation. Nobody knows about it. So guys, We still have this opportunity of a lifetime here. And that should keep you focused and connected at, we're not done here. Timing is still on our side. So we just need to run hard and be really connected to what we want out of this. And begin to dream very, very big. You want to have some short-term goals, right? And you want to have some long-term goals. And the long-term goals are the dream big goals. You know, and I'm going to tell you this, and not because I want to brag or boast, but Sean mentioned about yesterday, I was at our charity event. I've been with this charity now for 4 years called Child Crisis Arizona, which Marisa Harrelson told me about 4 years ago, and I joined it because of her, because it's about children. It's about giving children a shelter, abused and neglected children. And I was able to get a table, a Life Vantage table. I was able to give a huge amount last night. And that has been my dream, not to just write a $10 check, but to be able to bless, to give back and bless the world. And so, you know, I was able to raise my bid ticket and really give a lot of money that to me was considered a lot that 6 years ago I never would have thought that I could do. But that's what, you know, dreaming big is about, is giving back to the world. So have some of those short-term goals and then the long-term goals, and have some giving back to the world goals. Like if you could write a check to your favorite charity right now, what would be like huge for you? $1,000, $5,000, $10,000? I always remember what Tony Robbins said, that because he was a starving young, when he was starving and young, he said he was going to feed 1 million people one day. He didn't know how he was going to do that. But that's a huge, big dream, right? Today, he has fed way over 1 million with his charities. So think of giving back in something really, really huge, and write it down. Put it in your blueprint, the things you want to do. Because I'm telling you, when you set your intentions out to the world, to God, to whatever you believe in, that God opens up those doors for you. And it happens. It truly, truly, truly happens. So I am going to turn it over to someone that I met 6 years ago. And this wonderful, amazing woman, Joanne Shearer Parkin, was a widow at the time. And when we met with her, she just wanted to be able to retire because her husband had passed away. And with that, she couldn't retire when they had planned to, because everything was taken away from her. And so her only goal was to be able to be a couple of $1,000s to be able to retire. Well, she's made well over those couple of $1,000s, and was able to walk away from her job. She was a dietitian. She was the head of the dietitian and nutrition department, the diet and nutrition department, I think we call it, at the Vera Heart Hospital in South Dakota. And she was able to walk away from that because of this business, because of what we have our hands on. And so today she's going to talk to you about, we're going to feature, so we're going to talk about the blueprint every week, about 20 minutes, and then we're going to feature a product. Because I think everybody needs to be educated and really understand how these products are life-changing and very different from anything that's out there in this world. So she's going to talk about our probiotic, our probio, and why it's different. Why do you even need a probiotic? Because when I talk to people about this business, I tell them they got to be on 3 things right away: Nerf 1, Nerf 2, and a probiotic. And you know what? A lot of people are on probiotics. They may not know what Nerf 2 is, but a lot of people are on probiotics. And to switch them from their probiotic that probably isn't working as effectively as ours is an easy switch over. And I think we're missing the boat. So I wanted to start with our product feature, probiotics. So Joanne, it is all yours, sweetie.
All right. Hey, are you hearing me okay? All right. Okay. Fantastic. So I just want to thank Maria and Sean and Michelle for inviting me to be on the call tonight on this webinar. Just to talk about just one of my favorite products in the product line, of course, is the probiotic. In fact, probiotics is something that I've been studying for well over 20, 25 years. I remember last summer when I was cleaning out my garage, I found my stack of research articles on probiotics that I had copied off over the years, and it must have been a stack about 6 inches high. So you can see this has been an interest and a passion of mine for many years, is probiotics. And so first, I just want to talk a little bit about why we need a probiotic. First of all, what is a probiotic? A probiotic is healthy bacteria that confer a health benefit. Okay, so healthy bacteria that give us a health benefit. And the reason why we need probiotics is because we need a healthy gut, and a healthy gut is critically important for our health for many reasons. There's a huge whole body of science right now that is studying the gut and all of everything that is harbored in the gut. It's called the microbiome. It's becoming a huge body of science and medicine. They're now recognizing that the microbiome, our gut health, the bacteria, the viruses, the fungi, all of that's in our gut, that's like another organ. There is more genes within our gut than there is in the rest of our body. So it's a huge area of science and study. You're going to hear a lot about this in the future because they're going to start treating diseases more and more with getting the right kinds of probiotics and healthy bacteria within our gut. So very, very critically important. So first of all, in the United States, we have 70 million people with digestive disorders. So just think of all the people right there that need a probiotic. The other thing too is that 60 to 80% of our immunity is in our gut. So it's so important to have a healthy gut. When it comes to weight management, now this is our probiotic, is part of our physique line. And it is the foundation product within our weight management system because you need the probiotic in order to enhance that gut-brain communication so that the gut signals the brain when we're full. You might think that it's just that the stomach gets full and that's it with satiety. No, it isn't. It's your gut actually signals your brain. The other thing too that the gut does and the healthy gut bacteria do to help you with weight management is that those healthy bacteria, they feed on fibers in the gut. And that then helps to trigger and promote and enhance the production of anti-hunger hormones. So it can also help with your hunger, and so that you're not hungry all the time. And also, healthy gut is important. Healthy gut bacteria to lower the inflammation in your gut, and the healthy bacteria help to provide a barrier. They enhance what's called the gut barrier protection. So that, toxins and intact proteins and inflammatory stuff that you don't want into your systemic system, you don't want that to get into your bloodstream, because once that happens, that can cause a whole inflammatory process throughout your whole body. So those healthy gut bacteria are vitally important for enhancing that gut barrier protection. Healthy gut bacteria can help with allergies and food sensitivity. So if you're suffering from something like that, then this can be a benefit. Some things that you may not know in terms of healthy bacteria that's critically important is, one thing is that the healthy gut bacteria converts the thyroid hormone called T4 to the active form of thyroid hormone called T3. In fact, 20% of the thyroid, the conversion of this T4 to T3 happens within your gut. So if you're suffering from thyroid disorders, just think about that. If you're low on thyroid, you need healthy gut bacteria. There's some new research on Alzheimer's disease. I just read the study, and I just sent it off to Dr. Gordon, I think yesterday, that I found on PubMed, published late in 2016, where they had conducted a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial with Alzheimer's disease patients, and found that those that took the probiotic versus those on the placebo had an improvement in some of their signs and their symptoms of their Alzheimer's disease. So I think you're going to hear a lot more about this in the future as studies continue to be carried on about how a healthy gut can help your brain to function better, memory, cognition, all of that. Another thing that you may not know about that's important for healthy gut bacteria is that the healthy gut bacteria convert vitamin K1 to vitamin K2. So why is that important? Well, it's that vitamin K2 that helps to promote healthy bone, cartilage, and arteries. So, I mean, I could go on and on. I don't have enough time, obviously, to get into talking about all of the reasons why you need a healthy gut and a healthy gut bacteria. So that should give you a start, right? So like Maria was saying, there's a lot of people out there already taking probiotics, but you know what? They're not working. And this is why. If someone is, in fact, even if they're taking a refrigerated probiotic, it's not going to be working for them because only 4% of those healthy bacteria will survive the stomach acid. And this is one thing that makes our probiotic unique, is that we have something called BioTrack controlled release technology that's built into the pill so that it protects the bacteria from this destruction of the stomach acid. Not only that, then it releases the bacteria into your small and large intestine. In fact, you need to get those healthy bacteria down into the large intestine in order to get those anti-hunger hormones, because that's where they come from. They're stimulated by that large intestine. And so even like I said, in the refrigerated section of your grocery store, you go there and you think, oh great, it's refrigerated, it's going to be great. That doesn't make any difference because the gut bacteria are going to destroy it, but the BioTrack protects it. The other thing that is unique about our probiotic is that our very smart scientist, Dr. Natalie Chevreau, Dr. Fifi, added an ingredient called Wellmune. Now, Wellmune is a patented form of something called a beta-glucan. Now, this isn't something that Life Anti's developed. In fact, it was developed by another biotech company, and they spent $300 million researching this ingredient. There are at least 12 clinical research studies that you can read by going to wellmune.com, and you should go read those studies and just really read through the titles of the studies. There are studies on upper respiratory infections in children and adults, cold and flu symptoms in marathon runners, allergy symptoms, and just on how this ingredient can help improve mood and stress. So if you were to go and just purchase Wellmune alone, just that ingredient, you could pay anywhere from $20, $30, maybe up to $40 just for that particular ingredient. So what does it do? It makes the immune system smarter. It kind of arms your white blood cells. Those white blood cells are the key fighters in our immune system that attack all the invaders and the pathogens. And so what it does is it just arms them so that they are ready to go into action, and it doesn't overstimulate the immune system. So if you're, if you have an autoimmune disease, you don't have to worry about that. And what's really great about Wellmune, it's safe for anyone at any age. Children can take the Wellmune as well. And so with that, I'm looking at my time, and I think my time is up. Oh, I just want to mention one thing real quick. Okay, this is critically important. Just think about this. If you're a Pro 3, let's say you have 100 preferred customers in your group, right? In your group, and let's say they're all on auto ship for one bottle of Protandim a month, right? That's 40 PV. What if just 50% of them? What if just half of them? What if you got half of them to add the probiotic to their auto ship? What would that do to your volume? Do you realize that would get you halfway to Pro 4 without even adding a new person to your group? You could add, another couple $1,000s or more to your group volume, just by doing that. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Maria and to Sean and Michelle.
Stay on, Joanne, because I've got 2 questions for you. Someone asked if you chew the ProBio, then the BioTrack isn't effective.
No, it's not. No, you have to swallow the pill whole.
Okay, so chewing it doesn't work. Okay.
No.
Okay, great. The other thing, you gave me a couple of good ideas. I've been thinking about this, but I know someone that was paying $125 monthly for refrigerated probiotic and then got on our probiotic and it was much more effective.
Yep.
So here's the thing you can do is you can go on your Facebook page tomorrow, kind of late now, people are going to miss it. You know, there's key times to go on Facebook, lunch and after dinner. I would post something like, does anyone pay more than $80 for your probiotic? Because ours is 40, right? I think it's 40. Yep. So does anyone pay more than $80 for your probiotic? Something like that. Pose one simple question, nothing else. And see what people, write. See if someone comes back and says, yeah, I pay 100. Does anyone have a good probiotic and pay more than $80 or think theirs is good? Just something like that. Come up with something creative. And see how many people mention something to you, or you can contact those people and say, well, how about if you'd like to save half of that with something that's much more effective? And we've got the reasons why ours is much more effective. Wellmune, I used to take Wellmune, $40 I paid for Wellmune. So Wellmune and the BioTrack, it doesn't exist out there. It's going to get into your gut where it needs to get into. So maybe they could suspend theirs for a month and try ours for a couple of months and see the difference. And look at the money you could save. You can use $50.
Yep, that's a good point, Maria, because I think with the probiotic, people are going to start to see benefits almost immediately with the healthy gut, and that's one thing that I think you can get a customer for life.
Yes,
with the probiotic, definitely.
And you can go call your customers that are just on Protandem and say, hey, I've got a question. Do you take a probiotic? How much do you pay for your probiotic? Why do you take it? What benefits have you seen with it? Right? And maybe it's even time for them to change. So that's why I love doing this with someone else, because while she's talking, all these ideas are popping in my head. And I'm like, lunch tomorrow, I'm going to post, who spends more than $80 on their probiotic? And then I'm going to be like, contact me, let's talk. I can save you money and get you something more effective.
There's nothing like it out there. And for this price, Maria, you're right. Absolutely. Well,
yes.
Thank you. Great. Awesome.
Thank you, Joanne. Blessed to have you on our team. Your knowledge is incredible.
Thank you.
I want to say one more thing about getting started. There's a section here called Business Partners. So if you're a good leader, when you sign up a new person, you introduce them. It says 4 people here, the support team, the 4 active people, you need to go introduce them to the support team, that who is going to work with them. And if by some chance you're a new distributor and you don't know the rest of the team, well, whoever enrolled you, tell them to write it down and you go call them. Out of the 6.5 years that I've been involved, I've had about a handful, probably 5 people that out of the blue, all by themselves, called me and said, hey, I just signed up and someone gave me your number. And I'm like, wow, who does that? But those people, they know who they are. They are still here and they're plugging away because they took action. They took initiative, right? They didn't wait for anyone. But be a good leader. When you sign up a new distributor, introduce them to the team. Send a group text, but personally introduce them also to the team. 4 active people. That's going to be the main support team. Sean, do you want to close with anything at all?
You bet. Thank you, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful information. I knew that you two would fill us with valuable nuggets. I just can't wait to see over the course of the next 12 to 18 months what we do with this type of format, because the information that people are going to take away from this is just going to be invaluable in building their business for the long haul. So I'm super excited about this. Great job. We do want to remind people this does max out right now at 200 people. We're going to see over the course of time if it makes sense for us to bump this up to 300 and then 500. So make sure that you're getting on. Your team's going to get on. Because that is going to really be the deciding factor of how many we go up to as far as seats. But for sure, for the next couple of weeks, we are going to max this out at 200, and we went there all night long. So get on early, get your team on, make sure you're going to get it. We will get the recording sent out and make sure everybody has access that can't be on live or couldn't get on because of the numbers. The other 2 things that I want to mention real quick is LVA, Life Vantage Academy. If you are treating this like a business, you guys, you have to be enrolled enrolled for LifeVantage Academy somewhere in your region coming up this weekend. Don't delay. Do it tonight. Get your numbers in. And if you have it in your area, make sure your team's going, you're committed to it, because you do not want to lose this in your area. If you're fortunate enough to have this in your backyard, LifeVantage Academy, you do not want to let it go, because it's going to be very, very difficult to get it back if it does go away. So make sure the numbers are there. Support the marketplace, support your people. And then the last thing I want to end on is global convention. If you're not registered yet, that's probably the single biggest reason Michelle and I believed as big as we did as soon as we did, because Carrie Williams hammered us over and over and over and over and over and over and over that we had to go. That if we were going to treat this at all like a business, it wasn't a question if we were going to go. It was, why aren't you enrolled? And we went 2 weeks after we first signed up, brought our business to a whole different level. You have to be there. If you're going to do this business as a business, you have to be there. Figure it out. And we can help you get creative if it's a struggle to figure out how you're going to do it. We're sitting here in the middle of February. We can make things happen by the time that the middle of April comes around. So commit to yourself. Get signed up for LVA. Get signed up for convention. Make sure you're at these events. Stay tuned. Next Sunday, we're going to have another amazing group of people as well. Anything else?
Tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock Central is Carrie and Stu's call. Thursday night, live opportunity call. Make sure that you stay tuned to that information. Again, on Sunday, we will be back right after LVA Academy. So very exciting evening. Joanne and Maria, thank you for blessing all of us. Incredible information. If you guys saw, Joanne just posted in the comments that yes, 60% of bacteria survive with BioTrack versus 4% without it. 60% versus 4%. So take a screenshot of that. I actually did it if anybody wants it. Sometimes I need that for my memory and just to go back and to show people that information. But incredible products we have, phenomenal people, and an unbelievable opportunity and a responsibility that we have. And we are just so blessed you're all on. So thank you for tuning in. And thank you again, Maria, Joanne.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.